Hello from Knucklecracker headquarters. Today I'm going to show you the Creeper World 2 map editor along with a little bit of gameplay footage. Here you can see the map editor. The maps are bigger than they are in Creeper World 1, hence the scroll bar. And basics in the editor here, you can modify the terrain. I can come in here and erase stuff a little bit. That's cool. I can draw with different types of terrain. That's cool too. Let's go ahead and load up a level here. This level shows some of the different types of terrain: hard, medium, and easy levels to dig. You've got decayable terrain types here. When the bad creeper touches these, it decays over time. These here would decay quickly, these much more slowly. I've got the undiggable terrain here, and I've got some ore deposits. Ore is the second resource in the game, and you can just paint those however you like. So that's cool. Basics of editing a map. You'll also be able to change this picture up here at the top. No problem on that. But let's go ahead and move on to something a little more interesting. Here might be the beginnings of a simple level. I've created a starting location beneath the surface. That's perfectly legal and legitimate. I've put some undiggable terrain here to stop me from just digging back to the surface immediately. I've even got some undiggable terrain here underneath in order to stop you from tunneling down too far. Put myself a few ore deposits here, no problem. And I've got some decayable terrain that forms a channel here, and this big mound of dirt here that's sort of in the way. So this is just tailor-made. It's just begging to have some creeper put over here on the left. So no problem. Let's go do that. Let's paint some creeper in here. You're like, well, that's good. You can paint creeper in this version of the editor. You couldn't do that in the Creeper World 1 editor. But this isn't how creeper behaves in the game. It doesn't float in midair, nor does it form a continuous, perfectly smooth medium. It's under the influence of gravity, so it needs to be able to settle down. Well, good news. In the editor, the creeper simulator is built into it. So I'm just going to turn that on, and you can see the creeper flow just like it would in the game if it had suddenly appeared at that location. So this is useful if you want to put creeper on a map before you save it, but you'd like that creeper to be in a stable, steady, nice form, just like creeper would settle in the game itself. So that's cool. I can paint creeper live here. I can even modify the terrain live right now. I can come in here and start deleting these things, and the creeper flows. So let's try this. Let me create a confined area here. Let me go make some more creeper. Create kind of a pressurized chamber here of creeper. Not too bad, but under pressure nonetheless. It's more creeper than would sit inside this volume, but it can't go anywhere because it's constrained here at the top. So if I wanted to experiment with what would happen if this chamber of pressurized creeper were punctured, I can do that real time here. I'll just come open that up, and you can see the creeper is escaping against the force of gravity, which always keeps it down, and then this dome is forming and it's flooding out. You might think this isn't a lot of creeper, but it actually is. This stuff will spread all over. There's a lot in here. You can see that here when underneath my cursor. You just keep an eye on this number right here. You can see what the creeper density is. There's over 200,000. Now that's not a huge amount, but it's a lot, and you can see it's going to flow and it's going to fill in this area. And if the humans had not built a steady defense, they're going to be in trouble pretty soon. So let me go ahead and clear that off. You can see I just did that real time. What would happen if it were suddenly cut off? I could even come in here and erase the creeper. What happens if that weren't there? I could just take care of stuff real time here. So that's pretty nifty. But what else could you do with the creeper? So let's go ahead and load up this map. So here you have what looks like it's going to be some sort of volcano or lava dome, and you kind of expect this to erupt. Well, it would, but this is a steady amount of creeper. I've got the simulator on, and it's not moving. I've let this settle before I save this map, and it's not erupting. How could you make it erupt at a regular interval without putting more creeper in here? Well, one option might be to do that. It might be to put emitters in here and have them go off at an interval, and they just make a lot of creeper, and that forces a lot out. that would take longer than you think to build up a mass of creeper that can push out of this volume. Another thing you can do though is use what are called fields in the game. Fields push the creeper. They can push with different forces in different directions. They can drag the creeper and such. And so let's just go ahead and see if we can't use fields to create an eruption here. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to create one, a field container. It's a bound area where I can have field lines. I'm just going to position it, give it a nice size here. I'm going to draw field lines that are pointing up. I only want them to affect bad or evil creeper. And strength level 2, that's fine. Let's go ahead and actually let's turn that off. I don't want to spoil the fun here. Let's give myself a bigger brush, and let's just fill this in all with field lines. Now if I turn the simulator back on, you can see these field lines, they push up on the creeper and they're going to create an eruption. Now these field lines wouldn't be visible in the game. So let's hide them in the editor so we can see what the player might experience. That's an eruption. Boy, you'd have trouble dealing with that. That's for sure. That's a definite eruption. There's a lot of this creeper that's just coming up and spilling out. So you might not want that much of an eruption. So you could use smaller field lines, and that's true. But what you really want to do is turn them on and off. And I've already got that created here. Let me go ahead and load up a map. That's got some created here, and go ahead and select that and show you what I've got. This is like before, but I've assigned actions. I've said wait 300 frames, that's 10 seconds, 30 frames per second. Don't do anything for 10 seconds when the game first starts. Start initially off, so I don't want field lines turned on to start with. That's what that does. So start in the off position. After 10 seconds, turn on for 4 seconds. Then turn off for 20 seconds. Then loop. So it's going to turn on for a little bit, and then turn off for a long period of time, and then turn on again. So if we go ahead and turn on the Creeper Simulator, and then turn on the Field Simulator, which runs through these actions, we'll see what happens. It's going to wait 10 seconds to start with, remember, and then it's going to turn on for 4 and then off for 20. And here it goes. Here's the first little eruption, but only 4 seconds. Let's go ahead and hide them so we can see it the way the player would see it. That's the warning. If you haven't built your defenses, you best get busy. So it's pushed a fair amount of creeper up here, but not really an eruption yet. You've got the first respite, the first eruption was only 4 seconds, then 20 seconds off, and now another 4-second eruption, but more of the creeper was pushed up this time. So you've got yourself quite the eruption here. Not as bad as that first time around though, because it turned off after only 4 seconds, so only so much creeper was emitted. Alright, well that was cool. So what else do we have here? Here's something else you could do with field lines. One of the many things you can do with them. Here I've created field lines that push and constrain the creeper against a surface. So this creeper is going to run down, but it's not just going to flood down and then spread everywhere. It's going to be pushed against these structures, almost like stalactites in a cave. I've also got 3 little fields here, with only 1 by 1, and they are programmed to move and carry creeper with them. So if I just turn this on, and let's go ahead and hide them, you can see the creeper runs down. Those field lines are constraining it against the surface. When it gets to the bottom, the individual fields, which are looping and moving from here to here and with delays in between, and are also told to drag creeper, they pick some up and carry it to the bottom. So it looks like creeper is flowing down the outside of a stalactite and then dripping off the bottom and depositing creeper down here, and it will build up a pool down here. And in this mission, you start here. You got a little friendly creeper here to help you out, but you've got to fight your way up and deal with these guys in this cave, and you've also got to worry about this dome that's going to penetrate this decayable area here and flood this area out very shortly. So that's pretty cool, and we can just take a quick look at one of those actions right now. This guy right here, I've told him to move to coordinates 25, 120, which is down here, then move back up to where he started up here, wait 3 seconds, 90 frames, loop. This drip mode is a special mode that controls how the creeper drags from one location to another. It's too complicated for me to go into in this video, but it's just one more of the options on how fields, this drag field, can affect the creeper. Okay, let me hurry up here because I need to get to some gameplay footage. Here's a quick little mission I put together. Very easy, but I just wanted to play this mission right fast so you could see this in the game. I've only got one little emitter here. He's going to fill up this dome. He doesn't emit very quickly, but he will fill this area up over time. I've got a fixed amount of creeper here with a decayable section here that will flood out over time. So let me just go ahead and bring this up in the game. I've already got this loaded in the game, and I've zoomed a little bit on this, so the graphics will be distorted just slightly, but I wanted to go ahead and zoom in on that. And I'm also hiding the unit menus at the bottom because I'm not done with that, nor do I want to reveal what all the units are going to be. But you can see the main game area here, so let me go ahead and unpause this and let this go. Also, these units are practically free right now, so that I could go through this quickly and not actually have to play the game by any rules. So I just built a bunch of reactors. That gives me energy. That's good. I can move the assault ship here, and note that the area that's powered goes with the ship. This lit area, that's the area I can operate in. This dim area, I can't do anything there. I can't move units there, can't fire missiles there, anything like that. Now let me pause it here again real quick because I'm about to forget about this decayable terrain section here. When this opens up, you can see it's getting smudged up right now. It's decaying. All this creeper is going to flood out, so I need to address that. Fortunately, blasters are also free right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and build 3 of those right fast, and they're not going to have any problem. I'm also going to go ahead and start digging because we got to dig to get places, and I'm going to put some beacons out here that'll light up the rest of this area and let me get to where I need to get. You can see these packets automatically find their way to where they need to go via the shortest path. Okay, here comes the creeper. I'm going to get aggressive with that and just move right up on it. No reason not to. It's a fairly small amount. Just going to go ahead and push that back in there. I'm going to build a beacon right here. Beacons, after they're built, require energy. Not very much, but a steady supply of energy packets every so often, and they will light up an area. You can see he is lit this area. So that's good. Let's just go ahead and take care of this dome and take out that emitter before it gets any worse. I'm going to go ahead and build a couple blasters here. I'm going to build a launcher which will fire missiles. It's not completely free, so you'll see it build here. And it's firing its missiles now. It's just a green rectangle right now. I haven't finished the graphics. I'm going to move in on this guy right here. I don't need to, but I'm going to go ahead and build an ore rig over here on top of this ore deposit. That would produce this secondary resource, the ore right now, and that's what I would use to make friendly creeper. I can put one of those emitters right there, creeper emitter, and as the ore builds I can turn him on and he will start producing good creeper, friendly creeper, and it'll run downhill here and interact with the bad stuff down there and help me out a little bit. Let's see here. My time's almost up, so let me go ahead and build a nullifier here. This will take out that emitter. It's got a countdown timer once built, and it activates, and it will destroy that emitter. And that's the purpose of most of the missions in Creeper World 2: destroy all creeper and all emitters. So that's it for now. We'll have more later. Hope you enjoyed it.